here's a question. When was the last time you had an arm wrestle? For most people, arm wrestling is just a way to, show off your strength at school or maybe in a bar rather than being seen as a competitive sport. But according to the Ultimate Arm Wrestling League, the discipline has a history dating back more than 4,000 years, which shocked me, actually. I didn't realise it went back that far. Did you know also that there is a place right here in Oxford where you can actually take part in the sport of arm wrestling? I'm pleased to say Tom Gogol is from Oxford Arm Wrestling and is in the studio right now to tell us a bit more about the group. Good morning.
Good morning, Adam. Thanks for having me on.
So, first of all, how did you get into arm wrestling? Because I'm sure as a kid you probably arm wrestled like we've all done.
Yeah, of course,
with
everybody has.
Siblings or friends. But how did it become a bit more serious for you?
So I think over lockdown I had not much to do. Started watching a lot of YouTube videos. And obviously after the 2 years of sitting at home, what do you do with yourself?
Yeah.
I found some local guys in Peterborough who started in the shed. And it just evolved from there. I fell in love with the sport. When I moved to Oxford, I found Oxford Arm Wrestling and I started with them.
Simple. Really quick and easy.
Very simple, yeah.
So how does competitive arm wrestling work then? Because obviously there are going to be rules here.
Yeah. So I guess there's two sides of arm wrestling. There's the tournament side and there's the super match side. We're now starting to slowly convert into the super match format, which is a bit like what you imagine a fight to be like. You'd have rounds, and then throughout those rounds, a person can either improve or get worse. But essentially, it is just like what you would do at school. You arm wrestle, you pin the person down to the pad, and then you get a point. There are some rules like elbow fouls. Your elbow must remain on the pad at all times. Other than that, there actually isn't that many rules. It really is just
you can
take the person
that,
down to the pad. Yeah.
Interpret that however you want to then,
That's
suppose.
it. I think the biggest misconception is obviously a lot of people go side to side with the arm. Arm wrestling is a full body sport. You are trying to encourage your whole body to be in tension. Use your legs, use your sides.
Use your legs?
Use your legs against the table.
Yeah, okay.
Because it allows you to activate your whole core. And then you can move to side much more efficiently. It's also to do with safety, because you don't actually want your arm to go side to side because you're going against your joint.
Okay, you'll pull it out then.
So realistically, what we do professionally in wrestling, we pull backwards rather than to the side. And then we orient a body position so that you take the corner of the table and pull them back.
Oh, so you're pulling them towards you,
Pulling them
essentially.
towards you, yes, that's correct.
Well, you can talk me through a bit more of this, because we're actually going to have an arm wrestle in a little bit. I bet you are. I'm not. So, would you say that the sport is getting more popular? More people getting involved in this?
I'll say so. We're currently considering arm wrestling to be in its golden age. It got very popular throughout the 70s and the 80s. It was televised in North America. It was actually one of the highest rated TV sports programs in North America in the 80s. Kind of died down throughout the 90s, and we're now starting to convert into a super match format, which, as I said, it includes rounds. That then allows more people to watch it, and more people get interested in it.
Will it be in the Olympics one day, do you think?
We really hope so. We really hope so. It is one of the oldest sports, and it used to be in the Olympics in the Greco-Roman times.
Oh, wow. So has it always been a competitive sport, or was it once used for other things before it became a competitive sport?
Yes, I think it was used for a lot of stuff. I know in Mongolia they use it to kind of figure out who the chief is.
Yeah.
They do it on horseback. A lot of the stories in the Roman generals, arm wrestling for the title of general. But obviously that came in different formats. We standardized the sport in around 1980s to what we know currently with the table, with the pegs, with the referee. So in its current format, it's only been around since the 80s. But some form of arm wrestling has been around pretty much since humans have been alive.
Like, who's going to get the sheep? Whoever wins gets the sheep.
That's it. And it's a nice way of dealing with issues without having to fight.
Absolutely, and if you're going to get hurt, it's only going to be your hand and your arm rather than anything else, I suppose. What sort of training do you have to do to become good at arm wrestling? Because it's not all about having big muscles.
No,
is
it isn't. And as you can see from me, I'm not a big guy myself. We prefer to spar, essentially. So you go to a club, you get an instructor, and you'll just do what you would do in any MMA or boxing. You try to develop some sort of table IQ, we call it. Try to learn the techniques, and really, the more you spend time on the table, the better arm wrestler you become. It almost is a mini martial art within itself.
Okay, so this is the time where you're going to show us a little bit on how it works.
Great.
So we're going to move over to the table. I'm just going to have to close my microphone. I'm over here now, and I've got to move, so just stay where you are. And now I'm over here.
Great. Are you right or left-handed?
I am right-handed.
Wonderful. So I think the only safety rule in arm wrestling is if you imagine your hand here, it can't go back any further.
Yeah.
So most people, what they do when they arm wrestle, they tend to turn the body away.
Okay.
That's the only thing I don't want you to do. I want you to pull your hand towards your chest.
So once we are gripping each other, I'm going to... But if I come towards my chest, isn't the rule... Am I not trying to get your hand to touch the table?
You are. So essentially what would happen is you're pulling me back, and then you kind of go down with your body.
So it'll be a case of this way like this, and then when I get to a certain point, I'm going to push you down.
You can still push down as long as your body remains forward towards the table. You don't want your chest to face
So
outwards.
it's none of this.
Yeah, so you can still do this.
Yeah.
Just pull me down rather than pull me to the side.
Okay.
That's the only safe. Other than that, arm wrestling is an extremely safe sport.
And
you don't get many injuries.
Feel free to shout at me if I'm starting to do those things. So that we do
no, of course, I'll have to. And the other important rule is always look at your hand.
Okay.
Because it forces your body to then be directly up towards the hand.
So it's about towards, and at this point here, would that be when I go down?
Yeah.
Okay.
Think of it like a row, or like if you're holding a heavy log inside your hand. It's this kind of motion. You just lock in your elbow. Yeah, that's it.
Fine then. Are we all set? Right, here goes the grip. So explain the grip, because this is the bit I never understand. Really.
Yeah, so I mean, there's limited. There's certain ways you can't have the grip. Referees are there to ensure you have a fair grip. Usually you want the webbing to be even.
Yeah.
So you want that. And you close your thumbs. So you close your thumbs.
Locked around each other.
And then the only other rule is your fingers must be below your thumb knuckle. So when I close my hand...
Like that?
You want it higher up, actually. As high as possible. Preferably up to here. That's it.
Oh, because my thumb
Yeah,
knuckle's
because
higher.
then it allows you to get your wrist up a little bit higher.
Oh, okay.
It's more leverage then, the longer the lever, the more force is applied.
Okay, right.
And then from there, all you're doing is you're either curling your wrist in or curling it out and just pulling towards
so
yourself.
you can do these movements, like turning your wrist
Yes.
left and
Well,
right.
if you turn your wrist in, you're shortening the lever, so it actually makes it easier for you.
Ah, okay.
Yeah. So I guess if you want to start something, I'll just hold.
Okay.
I'd say put your other arm here, just because
Okay.
once again it forces you to be facing the table.
Okay. So I will...
And you just want to pull towards your...
So ideally, a good arm wrestler here would do that with the
that's
wrist
it.
towards and then pull towards him.
You're very, very strong.
Go on, Adam!
Go, Tom!
Come on!
Woo!
Come on,
That's it.
Adam!
Yay!
Got it? And then down.
Wonderful. Oh, that was hard. He let me win that, by the way, I will just say.
I will say, though, Adam has giant hands and he's great in arm wrestling.
Does that give you an advantage?
Yes, of course. Because you have a bigger hand, it's harder to grip somebody.
Right, okay, I see. So it's harder for you to grip the whole
Yeah,
of
and
my hand.
realistically, the sport is really all about in your hand and forearms.
Yeah.
It's not that much in your bicep. So if you have a big hand, you can control the other person's hand.
Right, I see.
A bit like in judo, if you manage to grab somebody in the right spot, you can then control the whole body. It's exactly the same thing in arm wrestling.
Well,
Can I just jump in? Can we do one more, Thomas, where you thrash Adam?
I can
I mean,
try.
he literally almost did that. He was looking at me
Go
in the
on.
eyes, like almost like, go on, try.
Not to put any excuse, I had a tournament on Sunday.
Go on, have another go. Ready?
I mean, it's not, I've lost the strength of my arm now
Yeah.
after that one because
No,
I'm not
that's
used to it. So,
So it's the same thing. So I'd normally do this, and I'd roll out.
yeah, see, there's nothing
Down
around
here.
that. There's no way
Yeah.
anyone could, unless they are really good at this, could get out of
But a lot of it is technique, because
Yeah.
I'm essentially what I'm doing is I'm rolling your fingers out. So then
Oh, I
you,
see.
You,
So
you
you're
have no
you're
control
making
in
it
your power.
weaker.
Yes, I'm making it weaker. So it really isn't about who's the strongest, it's who's the smartest.
I see. It's like a game of chess.
It is, and we like to think of it as rock, paper, scissors, because you have three planes in an arm wrestling table. You have forward, backwards, side
Yeah.
to side, up and down. And it tends to be like in rock, paper, scissors, one defeats the other, where a backwards motion will defeat a sideways motion, an upwards motion will defeat a backwards motion,
I see.
and so on and so on.
It's so clever.
So you can actually have pretty long, I mean, I've seen arm wrestling matches that have lasted over 20 minutes.
Wow. What, so they're in that sort of the shaky moment
Yeah,
of back and
because
forth?
you get to the side motion, and then somebody realizes they're being pushed to the side, so then they go up. Somebody goes up, so they pull them back, and then you just carry on. It's literally like a little mini martial art.
You must have some achy arms the next day.
Not anymore.
Right, I'm going to move over to my other microphone now. But that was incredible. My arm's shaking now from just having those two arm wrestling
Tomorrow
matches.
morning.
It's what? Sorry.
Wait till tomorrow morning.
Yeah, I'm going to wait tomorrow, aren't I? Is there anywhere that people can go to find out more about all of this if they want to join in and do something
Yes, I'd
themselves?
say the best resource is the PAA website, which is the Professional Arm Wrestling Association. They're the main governing body within the UK currently. Other than that, most clubs nowadays, no matter where you live, they will have their own Instagram page, Facebook page. We want to get more people involved in it.
Yeah.
There is also another there's also another application called ArmBet, which is a little bit like Tinder for arm wrestlers. You have a map, you can find your location, and you'll find all your local arm wrestlers in the area.
That's really good. Someone's ringing you now to tell you you're on the radio.
That's it.
That's great. And if anyone wants to find out more about Oxford Arm Wrestling, whereabouts do you meet? Where can they join in?
So we train every Sunday on 5 p.m. in Studio PT in Elmsfield Way, just north of Summertown.
Yeah.
All the sessions are free. We have professional instructors. I'm an instructor myself. We'll just get you in. We'll teach you all the safety matters. We'll teach you how to arm wrestle, and it's just it's a great community because it's such a small sport. Everybody in the whole country knows each other. They all want to support each other. We want to get more people in. Currently, we're starting to get more female arm wrestlers in, which is actually
Which
really
is
good for the
great.
sport. Yeah, our club personally, we have a lot of juniors.
Okay.
And actually, recently, some of our newer members came 5th in the novice nationals.
Wow, that's great.
It's amazing, especially for how long they've been arm wrestling.
Yeah. Well, I mean, just go to your search engine, type in Oxford Arm Wrestling if you want to find out more, and you will get to meet Tom, and
Yeah,
he
great.
can train you up. Thank you
love to have
so
you on.
much for sharing that and coming in.
Thank you, Adam.
And thank you for bruising my arm.
Cheers.
Thanks a lot.